Happy Tuesday, Florida State. I'm student meteorologist Sydney Welch here
and I'm
with
student meteorologist Brantley Kite.
And we do have some weather updates for you guys. It's not as exciting as it was last week. But
yeah, I mean, what we consider exciting might be different for some other people, though. I mean, some people might be excited about this nicer weather coming through, even though it's not, you know, as much to talk about that we would like.
Yeah, there isn't as much. Oh, but look, let's take a look out here at the sky. So we do have a blanket of clouds on the sky over our capital, and look at the work that's being done on the building next to the
that's right. We have a brand new building coming up here at FSU. It's going to be a nice building that's going to be finished in the summer of 2019, and the construction there, you can see it right there on the camera.
And the studio is going to be transported into that building, so we couldn't be more excited. Yeah,
that camera's awesome. You can check the weather and the progress on our new building at the same time. So
yes, we can. So about those fair conditions, they are going to be sticking around into the next week, into Sunday. Sunday's our next chance of rain, so
I really enjoyed the warm temperatures today, but unfortunately it's not going to stick around.
And Ariana's actually out at the wall to let us know about these conditions.
Thank you so much, Sydney and Brantley. I'm excited about those weather conditions coming up this week too. I love the good vibes of the spring feeling, because I know today I walked outside later in the afternoon and I was like, wow, it almost feels like spring in January. I was very excited about that. But right now, if you walk outside, you can feel a 68-degree temperature, which is feeling very good. The sun is not quite set yet, like you saw on the tape in there, but it feels like spring in my opinion. The humidity is only at 26%, so it's very dry outside. It's feeling good, but good thing it's not cold like last week, which is awesome. So if you look at the radar right now, in Tallahassee, you saw the clear skies. It was looking very clear, but this cold front down here came in last night. So if you did notice, the temperature did drop. So now it's a little colder, but it feels good. And tonight you can expect 39, so wear a jacket if you're going out there. And for the 3 days, it's going to be feeling good outside. But right now we're going to take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Ariana. Now, we did have some excitement this morning. Not really positive excitement, but a little bit.
Certainly some excitement in the atmosphere in the Earth's crust due to an earthquake, a 7.9 magnitude earthquake right off the coast of Alaska, Kodiak, Alaska, about 6 miles south, or I'm sorry, 150 miles south of Kodiak, and about 350 south of Anchorage.
Yeah, so that graphic that we just saw is the Ring of Fire. And what happens in the Ring of Fire, this is a horseshoe shape around the Pacific Ocean, and this is where 90% of the earthquakes happen in the world, in the entire world. And that's due to the crust converging and diverging in different ways and causing volcanoes and earthquakes like that.
Interesting enough. This earthquake certainly not powerful enough to cause a lot of damage. There were some reports of maybe minor damage, for the most part, no loss of life and no substantial damage. The governor of Alaska, Bill Walker, is saying that he credits the first responders, police, local media, and National Guard for their swift response and reaction to this earthquake. Again, no loss of life. Certainly, powerful there.
This happened at 12:31 a.m. their time,
Local
the Pacific,
time,
yes, Pacific time. And there was a tsunami warning for Alaska and British Columbia, and there was a tsunami watch for states like Washington, Oregon, and California. And those were lifted earlier this morning as well.
Right, there was some initial concern for the west coast of the United States, as you just mentioned, Sydney, but those were very quickly cleared at the air of any suspicious activity or any speculation that may have gone on.
Yeah, and I do know that as for Alaska, the tides receded a foot, which sometimes can mean a tsunami is on its way. But in this case, we did get lucky, and there was no tsunami to follow those tides receding. So.
Yeah, again, we were just watching this all unfold this morning, really early this morning for us, and then obviously right after midnight for those Alaskans. But again, thankfully, no loss of life, no major property damage, which is a 7.9 magnitude earthquake. I think the governor of Alaska this morning was saying the last time he remembered something so substantial was in the 60s. So thankfully, no loss of life. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, you really can't emphasize that enough. And places like Alaska and the rest of the Ring of Fire really do. There's no way to prepare for an earthquake, but the best that you can. They really do need to try to stay aware with what's going on. But as for right now, we are going to take it out to Sammy with a local look.
Okay, thank you guys. So right now we are looking at a picture from this morning. It was a cool morning on campus here at Florida State University. And the past 20 hours we have seen quite cool conditions, starting from 63 degrees last night at 9 p.m., dropping with that cold front coming through to 59 degrees this morning at 9 a.m., and back up to 67 at 1 p.m., and it's around the same temperature right now. Today, we hit a high of 68 degrees. That low was right around 57 degrees, so a little bit higher than the averages, which is very nice, actually. And we also have our current conditions at 68 in Tallahassee right now. Partly cloudy. Those clouds went away throughout the day. It was turned out to be a pretty pleasant day out today. Our dew point and humidity is kind of dry right now, making it feel not as sticky as it was with that cold front that came through earlier. Our current temperatures around the Big Bend region are pretty high throughout the majority of the region. 72 over in Perry, dropping to 68 over in St. Mark's, and down the coast we are sitting around the same temperatures, around 67, 68. Going into a little bit of South Georgia, we are around 68 as well. And our satellite and radar is showing not much coming on throughout the region right now, whereas those clouds came through earlier in the day and brought this high pressure system. Tomorrow's forecast, we are experiencing similar temperatures, similar weather throughout the day. Sun will be sticking around. It will be 58 and sunny, so very pleasant day out for tomorrow. And for our 7-day forecast, we are seeing pretty warm temperatures, dropping from 58 in that night temperature to 39, so a little chilly throughout the next few days. 34 and 36 for those night temperatures, but we will be seeing plenty of sun for those next few days to come. And Saturday, Sunday, we have another cold front coming through, bringing around some rain, so expect temperatures a little bit warmer for Saturday and even warmer for Sunday as well. But we will see some cooler temperatures associated after that rain comes. So expect some cooler temperatures to come for that Monday, Tuesday morning, 44, 40 degrees. But for now, we are going to take a look around Florida with Michael. What do we have, Michael?
Thanks, Sammy. So this time yesterday, we were tracking a cold front moving across the panhandle of Florida. That cold front has now shifted south into central and south Florida, so they've been getting some rain and some clouds throughout the day. Ahead of that cold front, you're in the 80s in South Florida, 80 in West Palm Beach, 83 in Miami. You're in 83 in Orlando, but behind it, you're in the 60s in Tallahassee and Pensacola. Now, the radar again shows you where this cold front actually is. You can see that it was going through Central Florida in the morning, and by the afternoon, it is it's progressed down into South Florida, up and towards the Panhandle. Much clearer skies behind that cold front. The water vapor shows a pretty similar story with a lot of the moisture ahead of the cold front, and behind the cold front you're starting to dry out and clear out in terms of your sky conditions. Now the moisture is down towards Miami, and you'll see those in the winds ahead of the cold front. Southerly winds bring in a lot of that moisture, with 12 in Miami, 13 in West Palm Beach. Orlando also having some southerly winds. Behind the cold front, you have westerly and northerly winds, and pretty strong, with 13 in Tallahassee and 12 in Pensacola. Now, you saw those winds in South Florida. That is also driving these high dew points, with 71 here in Miami, 72. It is actually a record dew point for this time of year, according to NWS Miami. So really, really high dew points for them this time of year. Behind the cold front, really drier dew points, 32 in Tallahassee and 30 in Pensacola. You need your chapstick and lotion once again for those dew points. What do these dew points actually mean? In South Florida and Central Florida, you're in the uncomfortable and oppressive range. It's feeling like summer. It's feeling muggy ahead of that cold front. But again, you're in the dry stage in the Panhandle of Florida. So again, you need the chapstick and you need the lotion. Tonight's forecast across the Panhandle will be in the 50s and 60s ahead of that cold front still. But behind that, clear skies will allow you to cool down very quickly, with 36 in Tallahassee, 39 in Pensacola. And tomorrow, the clouds linger in South Florida because that cold front is still making its presence felt down there. But up in the Panhandle and North Florida, very great weather for this time of year. 63 in Jacksonville, 63 in Tallahassee. Now let's send it back to the desk with a look at some of the events around Tallahassee.
Thank you, Michael. We are going to talk about some events starting tomorrow with a BOGO.
BOGO where, Sammy?
BOGO at Chick-fil-A.
Whoa, that's the best BOGO ever.
So it starts at 9 a.m. So I have class at 8. So I'm going to run over in between my classes and get that BOGO.
Make it, yeah.
I mean, I don't know who
I
I'm
don't
gonna
have
give it to
class
yet.
till the afternoon, so you'll see me at Chick-fil-A tomorrow getting my
Maybe I'll
BOGO
give you-
Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Maybe I'll give you my free one. Or we can split it. Whatever.
Or I may want to eat both of them. I don't know. And since the temperature is going to be so warm, not warm, sorry, so cold tomorrow, you can also get a hot coffee to go with your BOGO Chick-fil-A sandwich because the low is probably going to be in like the low 40s, high 30s. So it's a little chilly for us.
Although your coffee will not be free. But
Yes,
we also
sadly.
have other events coming too. We have a trivia night tonight at the Brass Tap.
At 7 o'clock. So if you like trivia, go check it out. And also,
Good food too.
yeah, good food. So also this week is DM Dance Marathon Rally Week. So I think tomorrow they're doing an event on Landis. I think tomorrow's Miracle Day, I think.
Okay.
So if you're involved in Dance Marathon, go support your friends, donate to your friends' accounts.
Yeah, even if you're not involved, feel free to donate. I mean, it goes to kids with cancer, so it's a great cause.
Yeah, I remember last year I volunteered at the actual like marathon. It was a great experience.
Really?
But this
Were you
whole
there
week-
like all
I
night?
was there for 5 hours, but I was not there all night. But 5 hours was good. It was a good like experience. But also this whole week is like DM marathon or like the rally week, and they're doing lots of different events throughout the week. But tomorrow is Miracle Day, I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of dancing, if you want to listen to cool music, they have a Rotten Mangoes concert with Sage the Monkey and the Lessers. That will take place tomorrow around 8 to 12 a.m., and that's at the Wilbury. But for
Yes.
now, we are going to take it out with Sydney.
Thanks, guys. So tomorrow, the temperature is going to be 40 during the time of that BOGO Chick-fil-A. So I definitely recommend going and sitting on the patio during that time because the 40 degrees will feel beautiful to us after those cooler conditions that we were seeing last week. But current temperature, 68 degrees, feeling nice with that 32-degree dew point. Really more moisture in the atmosphere than what we're used to. The past few days, I've been needing that lotion, and now that 32 degrees actually feels like relief, even though it is still dry. Current temperatures around the region, we are seeing all high 60s. Some places towards our east, breaking through the 70s. So Valdosta and Perry are seeing 70 and 72, and then we do have a cool spot towards the west in Wilma, seeing 62-degree temperatures. Now into the satellite, dry skies, but as I said, it feels more moist than it has last week. We are behind the front, so we're not going to be seeing many clouds or any rain back here unless it's a pop-up shower coming through. But right now, look at that radar, dry skies, beautiful conditions to go out tonight. Into our evening planner, we're going to see the clear and light winds around 7 p.m., 54 degrees. So get outside, go for a walk. Look at that. 54 degrees, cooling down around 10 p.m. to 48. So not cooling down too much, but still seeing some clouds in the sky at that point. And then some crisp overnight temps, 45 degrees. 45 is still beautiful to get outside. And I just want to stress, go outside tonight. It's going to be a beautiful night. Tonight's forecast, 39, so that's going to be when the BOGO Chick-fil-A is going on. I would definitely recommend getting out there in the morning. Tranquil evening, and there will be a few passing clouds, but we just did look at that radar. It looked pretty clear. So things will be clearing up for any clouds that are coming into the area. That wind coming from the north-northwest at 5 miles an hour. Now into tomorrow, pleasant day, and the sun will stick around. So there will be some clouds passing by overhead, but the sun will be sticking around. 58 degrees. Now let's take a look at this 7-day. Our next chances of rain coming at night on Saturday into Sunday. Those high temperatures getting up to 70 degrees. Look at that, Saturday, 70 degrees. And the lows varying quite a lot, but we are seeing 34 degrees and staying in the mid-30s for the next 2 days. Now we are going to take it over to Tevin. What's going on nationally?
Well, nationally, Sydney, we are having a very good forecast. If we take a look at this satellite and radar picture, let me tell you, folks, it is fantastic. High pressure controlling much of the country after that cold front. We can spot the cold front there off of the Atlantic on satellite and radar. We've got several different ways here at the Weather Center that we can track cold fronts. So this is the first one, some precip ahead of the cold front, but behind it, what we are feeling here in Tallahassee and seeing very mild and warm conditions and also clear skies. Currently across the rest of the United States, the upper half of the tier of the United States seeing some 30s and 20s, 24 in Minneapolis, 31 for Kansas City, 36 degrees and cool in Denver, and 37 for Albuquerque. But the South is certainly warm, 68 for us here at home, 61 right now in New Orleans, and 56 for those of you in Dallas, Texas. San Antonio, your temperature change is just a little bit cooler than yesterday, but this just shows you how close the front was to the rest of the country. So if we take a look towards the eastern seaboard, they're still fairly warm after the front, but behind the front, this is where the front is really having its grips onto right now. 16 degrees cooler today than it was this time yesterday in Memphis, Tennessee, 17 for Detroit. But then well behind the front, temperatures are actually starting to warm up, and that's because that front has passed and it's gone on and done its thing and run its course. And guess what? They've been able to rebound in their temperatures. The satellite and radar are the upper level water vapor imagery showing you a higher picture into the atmosphere. We do start to see that swirl and spin for the northeast and some of the Great Lakes. So maybe some moisture there, and also some certainly down here in the south, and that's why we have dew points just a little bit on the mild side, but not too bad out there. They are actually fairly dry. And can I get some? Well, actually, there we go. They're working right now. The dew points showing you 29-degree dew points for Detroit, 30 for Memphis, and 27 and dry in New Orleans, 18 for Dallas. Down in the south, Miami, you always have to be the outlier, 71-degree dew points. So certainly muggy in the south eastern portion of the state of Florida, and that's what we are used to. But another picture showing you how we can spot the front. The winds behind the front coming from the north and west, 14-mile-an-hour winds in Memphis, 13 here in Tallahassee. And then from the south, though, where you have that convergence, that's where we're actually starting to see the front has not quite made it through Miami, Florida right now. The futurecast showing you that we do have this front starting to clear out, and as we put this into motion, high pressure remains in effect for the next several days, though, off of the Pacific Northwest. That's our next frontal system that we're going to watch, but it won't be here until later on this weekend. Tonight's forecast, cool for most of the country. Tomorrow, we rebound, warm up tomorrow, temperatures in the low to mid 60s. That's a look at the national forecast. Now let's send things over to Ariana. She's got a look at the southeast.
Thank you so much, Tevin. I'm excited for tomorrow. 63 is going to be feeling good. But for right now in Tallahassee, we are at 68 degrees like we said earlier. Orlando, you are at 83. In Miami, you are also at 83. That is because this cold front is coming in right now for you. You can probably expect some rain down there right now. But you can see down in the south, we are at 80 degrees. But right above, we are at the 50s. In Montgomery, we are at 56. That's much colder than here. And then all the way up in Little Rock, you're at 50 degrees right now. The sun is still out. It's going down right now, but it is going to be cold. It is much colder in the north than it is in the south. Right now, you can see that in the south, around Miami, there is some rain down there. That is that cold front that came through to us yesterday, early this morning, late last night, and now it is going through the south. So it is much colder, or not too much colder, but it is colder than it was today than it was yesterday, because a cold front did come through, and you can see it down here in this radar that you've seen a few times throughout the show, and you can see it here. Actually, today, 24 hours ago from today, we've gone up a temperature. Interesting. But above us, Montgomery, you have had a 11-degree temperature change from yesterday, so you've gone down 11 degrees, and that is how it is up in the north above us for right now. But currently, you can also spot the fronts with the winds, like Tevin mentioned. So you can see the winds are coming from the west. And if you look down here, the winds are going to the west. So that shows that the front is still going through South Florida, but it has already come through us. And you can see this through the winds, like Tevin did mention earlier. And right now, there are no watches, warnings, or advisories, so that's awesome. It's looking pretty good outside for us up here in the north. Maybe in Miami you have a little bit of rain, but nothing too bad to watch out for, so everything's doing good. For tonight, what you can expect: 36 in Tallahassee, Montgomery 33, New Orleans you're at 42, so you're a little warmer than us. But down south, Key West, you can expect 70, in Miami 67, so it'll be a nice night to take a walk down in the south, but for us, you may need a jacket. And tomorrow you can expect 63 in Tallahassee and high 50s, low 60s in the north of us. And right now we're going to take it back to the desk with Sammy and Michael.
Thanks, Ariana. So this week is Weather Awareness Week, and Tuesday, actually, we're going to look at rip currents. That's what Tuesday is for. And so rip currents are important in Florida, right, Sammy?
Yeah, a little closer to home for us. I have not experienced anything with rip currents, though. Have you?
No, but rip currents, the one thing with anything is do not panic. But we are going to send it off to Brantley with more details about rip currents.
That's right, you guys. It is Severe Weather Awareness Week here in Florida, and today's main focus is rip currents and marine hazards. Now, a lot of people don't really think about rip currents as being a weather hazard, but it actually takes more lives every year than hurricanes, tornadoes, and lightning combined. So it really is a killer, and it's important to remember that all the wave action is caused by winds and weather. So that's why the National Weather Service forecasts for rip current risk. So 80% of water rescues in Florida are caused by rip currents, and more people are actually rescued on days that have smaller waves compared to those that have the larger waves. It's a common misconception that because the waves are smaller that the water is calmer, but it's actually just waves that, you know, are maybe 2 or 3 feet tall that might pull stronger, even though they look more inviting, as compared to a 6 or 7 foot wave that might scare someone from getting into the water. So the best way to stay out of a rip current is to check in with the National Weather Service's forecast. They forecast for the entire state of Florida what the threat's going to be. A low threat is generally calm, and then medium is a moderate risk, so only experienced swimmers should get in the water then. And if it's high, you should stay out of the water because it is a life-threatening situation. But if you do happen to get stuck in a rip current, the best way is to swim parallel to shore to get out of it. Do not fight against the current because it will tire you out very quickly. Now we're going to take it back to the desk with Mike and Sammy.
Thank you, Brantley. Hey, we got to learn a little bit more about rip currents.
Yeah, rip currents, very important.
And now we are going to transition into talking about some sport events coming.
Yeah, locally here in Tallahassee is a huge sports week with both our men's and women's basketball teams. That starts tomorrow with the men's team playing at home against the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. The game's at 7 o'clock, and it's looking to be pretty chilly at tip-off. Right, Tammy?
Yeah, make sure you have a jacket just in case. But we also are playing on Saturday. I know that game's sold out, so make sure, try to get tickets for tomorrow if you are already...
Yep, Saturday is against Miami. That game is again sold out, and weather is going to be pretty nice for that one. But finally, women's basketball has a huge game against Notre Dame on Sunday. It's number 8 FSU against number 5 Notre Dame in a battle for who gets first place in the ACC. So
it'll be around 60 degrees when that game is starting, but so pretty pleasant outside.
Yeah, there will be rain for that, so don't forget to bring the umbrella and rain jacket. And finally, with football off this week, everyone's looking towards the golf world with Tiger making his return at Torrey Pines.
Your favorite.
Weather is looking chilly in the mornings as always in San Diego where it's being held. And it's actually really nice afternoons with 60s Thursday and Friday, and then by Saturday, it'll be in the 70s. So looking good for Tiger's return to professional golf officially.
Yeah? Are you planning on going golfing this weekend at all?
Yeah, we'll go Saturday morning before the Miami game, but a lot of stuff happening in sports this week. But now let's send it back to the wall with the final look at our local forecast.
Thanks, Michael. We are going to talk about that golf forecast here for Tallahassee coming up, so stay tuned for that in just a second. But currently right now in Tallahassee, 68 degrees outside, under partly cloudy skies. Those clouds are going to move out overnight as we move into the late evening hours here. It's a little bit dry outside too. The dew point hanging around at 32 degrees and humidity only at 26%. So it is feeling dry and a little cool out there right now. Our satellite and radar is not showing much except for those low-level clouds, but there's so few of them you can't even see them right now here on the satellite. So that's not really a big issue at the moment. Those few passing clouds might stick around late tonight, but after that in the morning they'll clear out. Our low is 39, so it's going to be a very nice, calm evening, and the winds are going to be pretty calm too, at only 5 miles per hour. So nothing too crazy there. Nothing's really going to get blown around. And then tomorrow we are taking a dip in temperatures. Our temperatures are going to drop down to a high of only 58 degrees. So that's about 10 degrees lower than what it was today. So you're definitely going to feel that when you walk outside first thing in the morning. And the sun is going to stick around tomorrow and for a couple of days after that, with winds 5 to 10 miles per hour tomorrow too, help keep things really cool. So Wednesday's high, 63 in Tallahassee, is what we had today, and then or tomorrow. And then our golf index, like I was just talking about, is a 5 because we do have those nice sunny conditions with light winds. So it's going to be a great day for getting out there on the golf course or just spending out time outside in general. So after our 58 degrees tomorrow, we see temperatures kind of start to bounce back as we get towards the weekend. 63 Thursday, 65 on Friday, still under those sunny skies. And then Saturday is when we start to see a surge of moisture with a little bit of warmth too, right ahead of another cold front. So we have a chance of rain going into the afternoon and evening on Saturday. That rain chance is going to stick around on Sunday at around 70% right ahead of that cold front. And then Monday and Tuesday is when temperatures dip back down, but they're not going to dip down nearly as far as they did just a week or two ago. So now we're going to take it back over to the desk with Tevin and Michael.
All right, Michael, so I know that you're a golf enthusiast. Are you going to be golfing during any of this good weather? Because
yeah, I'm going to be
here for a few days.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing both, playing golf and watching golf this weekend.
Playing golf and watching golf.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. So, again, we have those a lot of basketball games this week.
I know.
Tech.
Tomorrow night, right?
Yep, and then Miami Saturday, and then the huge women's game against Notre Dame on Sunday.
Go Noles.
Yep.
Absolutely. So go enjoy the basketball teams, support both teams, and then come out and enjoy the great weather that we're going to have Wednesday and Thursday, and then Friday.
Yeah, yeah. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is looking great. Oh, there's our sky cam once again.
Sun's starting to set right now.
Sun is set.
A few more cars on Tennessee, not as much as at the top of the hour when we first started the show, but it looks like it's going to be a great night, maybe a little bit cooler because of the cloud coverage or the absence of cloud coverage.
Yeah, after that cold front moved through last night.
Yeah.
And yeah, so what we were talking about Notre Dame. This Notre Dame game will be huge, but the weekend is looking pretty unsettled with another cold front arriving into the Big Bend area. Right?
We might be talking about a few severe thunderstorms on Saturday with temperatures peaking up that high. I'm not sure what dew points are going to align to that day, but follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU weather, and Instagram. We're going to be tracking all of this severe weather potentially for the weekend, or just a few thunderstorms, whatever it makes of that. We'll have all of that coverage.
And you're watching us on YouTube right now, so youtube.com/FSU weather is where we stream every night.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we're certainly there.
So yeah, so again, all these big games this week, the forecast is looking really good for that. It was good that the rip currents thing was really good. Brantley is really talked about that really well. It is really important, especially with the spring months and eventually into the summer, where people have to be aware about that.
The weather starts getting nicer, people take into the oceans a little bit more, and you just have to be more mindful of what you're doing and extra cautious if you're out there swimming. There's a look at the 7-day one more time. 58 degrees will be the high tomorrow. Warming up Thursday and Friday and Saturday, but Saturday it looks like we're going to have some chances for rain and maybe some severe thunderstorms. That's the 7-day forecast. Thanks for watching today. I'm student meteorologist Tevin Wooten.
I'm student meteorologist Michael Onden, and have a great night.
See you guys.
Yep.